It's Triple Crown here, Sunday, October 19th, 2025. It's been a busy weekend, as you can see from the sheet. There's a lot of writing on it. Let's go ahead and wrap it up. Not too many clips today, but there will be a little bit of a reflection period at the end of today's video. So let's waste no more time and get into the action.
Yeah, just looking to sell them. Don't do a ton of baseball.
Okay. Do you have anything else you're looking to move, potentially?
Some mixture of stuff. I think that's like what I paid. I'm trying to just get rid of it. Okay, I got it. Big trade.
It's a cool card.
Oh, yeah.
The shimmer's like not as good as like the...
Yeah, the true gold, yeah. They're great. Good cards.
The true gold's probably like $4,000.
No, for position players, are not that crazy. You're probably giving us under $1,000.
Yeah.
Even the
I thought
best.
Kuko's was like...
Well, rookies.
Yeah, I get
Like
It's not rookie?
Yeah, a non-rookie, it's cheap.
several thousand. Several.
I thought it was really...
Do you have an idea what you want for them, or you want me to just take a look and see?
Yeah, let me know what you're interested in. I can tell you what I'm thinking.
I imagine that's more than I want to pay for it. How much is that?
I was asking $6K.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like them, just not that much.
Yeah,
So,
I agree.
what about Giannis?
1,200, yeah.
Henry?
I was hoping to get 4,800. And
Okay.
there's similar, none of these have directs, but they have similar things I can kind of show you. Yeah, that's a good one, 8,500.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's like 120 bucks, I think. I have to look.
What about these two?
Had this valued around 2K, and then I think this is like a $200 card maybe. I could take another look.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me take a look real quick.
Yeah.
Okay, what a way to start the day. So I am more concerned with the walk-ups today than I really am selling. You can probably tell by all the blank spaces in my showcases that I've sold quite a bit, and I don't want to end the day with a 0 in the sales column, but I do want to focus on buying. This is a great way to start off, without a doubt. I mean, these are some of the best cards that have walked up to me all weekend long. He had inquired with me about the 2 baseball cards because he saw my cases were mostly baseball. And then I kind of pried and said, well, what else do you have? And sure enough, there was some pretty sweet stuff in there. The Ohtani, I'm immediately out on. I know that the stained glasses are pretty popular despite being Panini cards that don't always get a lot of love. But at $2,000, there are Ohtani autographs that I could buy for that price, or just Ohtani cards that I would probably prefer to have over a gold disco from Prism. Therefore, I'm out on that one. The Soto Red Ink, yeah, without a doubt, that's a cheaper card. I have a lot of confidence I can work something out with him on that. But then I want to try to go for one of these big boys. And even though he said 8,500 on that Jefferson, I'm curious to see if he's willing to move off that number or not. And if I can't get that, then the Giannis would be a very nice consolation prize. That's going to be the game plan. I would love to land this Jefferson, but we're just going to have to see where his head is at on this one.
And I'm flexible. These are just kind of what I've come up with.
Okay. Yeah. This hasn't come up in a long time, has it?
Yeah.
You didn't have one in 2020, right?
No, that's his first one. Yeah.
Okay.
There's a PSA 10 at auction right now with over a week left. It's at 7,000. And so I don't know what's going to happen with there. The last sale was last year. PSA 8 did 4,000.
Okay, there is a more recent one.
No, nothing more recent. There's some with an auto, but it was actually unpaid for. The card ladder didn't take it down.
I see.
Yeah,
I
I didn't realize it had an auto on it. It was just strange. But I checked on alt as well. Sometimes they don't match. And the PSA 8 sold last year.
Is this the flawless that just came out?
I don't think so. Last year, 2023. I think it has directs around it's like 1180. I think the last one did.
You said you were at 48 for the Derrick Henry, right?
Yeah, I can show you. There, a Titans one back in November did 35, I believe. And I figured the market was hot. It's his Ravens uniform, which is cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just kind of threw a number out there. That's the only finite sale of his. Was his Titans flashback. Yeah.
How'd you come into these if you don't do baseball? Was it just somebody you had to take on to get something?
Yeah, this was in a trade, and this I saw at my local shop, just right down the street from here. It was just, I don't do unlicensed stuff, but it's just such a good looking card.
Yeah.
And it was a good price, you know. And if it wasn't Otani, I wouldn't buy it. It's just a cool looking card.
That's fair. I don't do soccer, but if there's like a Ronaldo or Messi, then like, you know what? Today's a soccer.
And I've had so many people like we trade other baseball. I'm like, it just didn't do it for me. I'd rather just sell it and buy some basketball or football.
Really good job.
Yeah. We're just running a marathon next weekend.
It's not getting canceled.
No, it's confirmed. Yeah, even with the shutdown.
I'm out on these two.
Okay,
sure.
No worries. I love this card so much. I'm kind of glad you said that.
That's fair. This is just where I would have to be based on where I would put them out at.
Yeah.
I'd be at 150 here.
Okay.
I'd be at 9 here. This one, I like it a lot, but I just would not be near the 85.
That's okay.
So.
It's one of those cards. If you have something in mind, it won't offend me. So I know it's a big one, so it's not easy.
Yeah. I don't mean to offend anyone I offer, but I would offer 5.
I've been offered 5, and then I was offered 7. I obviously turned them down, so I couldn't get down there. But it's not an unfair offer.
Yeah. So yeah, it would be 1,050 for here.
Okay. What you say here, 150?
Yeah.
Was the last sale that like PSA 6 or something? Is that the most
It was
recent?
an 8 as well.
Okay. What'd that do?
200-ish.
200-ish. Could you get to like 170 on the Soto?
I couldn't do that. That'd be a 150. Okay. But if you want to hold it, it's fine.
No, I don't want to hold it.
Yeah.
I just want to get a little. Can we do 160 on the Soto? I probably couldn't get that low on the Giannis just with basketball coming up.
Yeah. What would you? Is there a number that you would come back at for there? Or?
Probably like 1050, which I know is tight margin, but I think that's my bottom on it. And then I would do the 150 here if you did the 1050. That was my $10.
I don't have anything that you like in my case or anything.
I'd like it, but I'm just looking to sell.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's cool stuff though. Yeah.
It's what it would be one more time at 1150. Otherwise, I'd have to pass.
You said 1150?
Yeah. It'd be all cash too.
Yeah, I hear you. I'll split it one more time, $25.
I'm gonna stay at 1150. I really didn't want to come above 11, but it's a nice card like that.
Yeah,
you gotta,
that's why I don't want to let it go.
You gotta pay the price. So 1150, I can do it.
Let me do some quick math.
Sure. Yeah, but this is awesome. I mean, just get the King's ransom. Don't take anything less for it. So.
No, it's fair offer. I appreciate it. 1150. Is that what you said?
1150.
Yeah, let's do it.
Cool.
Okay. Thanks, Steve.
It's a little tough to hear, but my offer was $5,000 on the Jefferson. That was going to be my absolute best. I gave him my best shot right away. He turned it down. He told me it was a fair offer. I felt like it was. I'm showing you on screen what that aforementioned PSA 10 ended up selling for. It looks like it didn't really move too much beyond that $7,000, finishing at 87. Meaning, I think that $7,000 offer that he had received previously was pretty darn fair if we're just taking this sale at face value and not considering anything else. I think that he was probably expecting this to go above 5 figures. That's kind of what I was expecting too when he was telling me about it, and I looked it up later on. But that's not what ended up happening. That's the beauty, or sometimes the ugliness, depending on what perspective you're looking at, of an auction, is that you never really know where it is going to end. And sometimes on some of these larger cards, there can be some different kinds of actors, if you know what I mean, who kind of get involved in the bidding process. But I have no regrets over passing it at any point. Of course, when cards like this come up and I don't end up with them, I always ask myself, was there something else that I could have done besides obviously pay more money to get the card? Is there a way I could have negotiated differently? And to me, there just wasn't going to be a place for me to end up with this card. But settling for a Giannis on-card flawless auto and a Juan Soto Heritage Red Ink, I wouldn't even really call that settling. I would say that's a pretty good pair of cards to go ahead and pick up. I don't do too much with basketball. I am starting to diversify a little bit more. You will not see me picking up like guys who I'm prospecting on in basketball just because I don't know the sport as well. I don't have an eye for talent, or maybe an eye for kind of the newer guys as much as I would for baseball or for football, and therefore I kind of just stick to what I know. I know Giannis, he's a heck of a player, and I know Flawless, it's a heck of a product. On-card auto, that's the best of both worlds there. And of course, Juan Soto autographs, I've sold many of those over the years, so that's something that I am incredibly comfortable with. But he was really cool to work with. I'm glad I at least got to see some of the heat that he brought to the table because, I mean, even the stuff I didn't negotiate on, the Henry Black Finite, the Anthony Edwards patch auto, he had some really cool stuff, and you just never really know what's going to walk up to your table. Happy I got those 2 cards, though. Okay, the last 2 clips that I had were both attempted buys that did not work out. I didn't get any of the cards. They were both clips that extended about 15 minutes, and they both ended the same way, with the people kind of getting frustrated, or they seemed kind of surprised, rather, that I was not willing to give them full rip for their cards, which I can't do that, because when people come up, I mean, you see how much I get talked down in these vlogs. There is no way that I'd be able to pay full rip, because I'm not even getting full rip when I'm putting them out of my cases. Sometimes I gotta scratch and claw to get what I get at times. And I think one of the things that I need to work on personally is just setting the expectation. I have Grove City this Sunday, and I think anytime that someone comes up looking to sell and it's a large quantity of cards that's going to take some time, I need to just kind of set the bar like, hey, I can't give you full value for them. This is kind of what I do and how I make my offers. If you're okay with that, let's go for it. If you're not okay with that, no harm, no foul, right? And then from there, if they want to continue, they'll be able to. And that might save them some time as well, right? I mean, show floor time is valuable time. They want to be able to make it around to a bunch of different vendors. I can't imagine anybody wants to stand at my table for 15 minutes just to walk away empty-handed, whether that's without getting any cards from me or without getting any cash from me. And then on my end too, you know, what am I missing out on during the 15 minutes that I'm spending negotiating too? That's just something that I will probably try to work on going forward. But outside of that, this show I think went pretty much flawlessly for me. I was able to identify some cards leading up to it over the last 6 to 8 weeks, heading into the show, like the Gibbs 1 of 1, the Tyler Warren Gold XRC, some of the other cards that were in there too, a few of the baseball ones, but some higher end cards that I took a little bit of a chance on. I figured out in my head, okay, this is what I'm going to try to get for it. This is what I envision the sale look like, and it worked out. And to me, that is one of the most rewarding things, especially when it's something that I've struggled with before. When I start playing in the high end of things, I feel a lot more, I wouldn't say afraid, but definitely anxious about the cards, and I maybe hit the eject button a little bit too soon on them. It is admittedly a flaw of mine because I am naturally risk adverse. And when I am risk adverse, I do not want to sit on things that are, in my head, more likely to tank rather than me make something on them. And I have certainly been wrong about those types of cards before. It's just part of the learning experience. And this show actually wrapped up my 6th full year as a full-time dealer. The anniversary of my full-time was this day, October 19th, and I was pretty thrilled with how far I had come. I pretty much started with nothing when I first started selling cards, and to be able to get to this point was very special to me, and perhaps I will have a podcast episode to reflect on this a bit more and talk about some of the specifics of things I've learned. But I felt like this was one of the most complete shows that I had. You hear about that like in a post-game press interview for NFL coaches. Oh yeah, we played a complete game, all 3 phases. I felt like I did that. I did really well with my buys. I stayed disciplined. I walked away when I felt uncomfortable going any higher. On my selling, I felt like I got my number on pretty much everything that I sold. I identified the right things to bring with me, and I sold quite a few of them. And trading-wise as well, I had a few people walk up looking to trade, and it turned out exactly as I had hoped for, and I was able to move off some stale inventory in the trades that I did make. And also people who made the trades with me, they ended up walking away happy, and I was able to get more value out of it, so I guess everybody was happy in that sense. It's just one of those things where when everything clicks, it feels great, because I know that there are a lot of times where it feels like nothing is going right. And I definitely cherish the moments when it does feel like everything seems to be clicking for me. And I feel it's as important to remember these times and take away the lessons of what actually worked well here to remember when things aren't going so well. It's very easy for me to get down on myself. I am my harshest critic without a doubt, and start to really overanalyze when things I feel aren't going as well. But I think that here, looking back on this experience, I have a really good grasp of why I had such a great show and what I can do to ensure there are more shows like this in my future. I can't wait for year 7, my first time setting up in the new Triple Crown calendar year, if you will. We'll be at Grove City Card Fest on Sunday. If you're there, make sure you stop by and say hello. And if you're not, I will have the vlog ready for you to show you the journey that day. But until then, regardless of where you may be, take care, stay safe, and be kind.